What is going on, YouTube? Check it out, guys. We got old Reliable again. So I'm just gonna let you guys know some of this was pre-recorded. I did drop the tank a little while ago. I think it was during the winter, so it was pretty cold out here, but it's now the middle of June. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and get the exhaust manifolds on this thing. So we finally got our exhaust manifolds. I just bought some cheap ones off of Amazon or eBay. There's your part number if anybody's interested in it. So I think it's that one there or that one there. And like I said, they were cheap. I think they were 140 bucks or something like that shipped here. So I'm gonna go ahead and slap those things on first. I still haven't put my nuts on my motor mounts, so I just gotta put the nut on the bolt. It just has the bolt through there, and then we can go ahead and slap those things in there. So, you know, there's not too much to them. See, I just missing my nut down there on the bolt. The bolt's through the mount, but just missing the nut. So there's not really much to putting your exhaust manifolds on, so I'm just gonna go ahead and slap them on there. I think I'm gonna have to get some aftermarket wires later, because I kind of test fitted this side already, and it looks like they hit on a couple of the wires, so they're probably gonna melt through these ones. But once they melt through them, I'll go ahead and get some aftermarket ones. And looks like I got one broken stud here, so I'm gonna see if I can get that out right now. Alright guys, so just to kind of show you guys what I'm doing here is, like I said, I'm taking off that metal boot, and then what you do is you stick it back in there. See, this one completely hits here, so gotta get it to clip in first. So clipped in right there. See, so that clipped in there, but you can see it's still hitting quite a bit. But once you have it clipped in there, you can actually bend these original wires quite a bit. See, so now we're actually kind of clearing a little bit. So there you go. See, and they actually keep that mold once they get hot. So that's kind of just a cheap fix for now, but just so that they don't hit, I went ahead and already bent this one too. See there? So they just kind of clear, and all that's doing is bending the metal connector inside of that boot. And I went ahead and did this side as well. See, so just enough to clear, but those wires are probably going to get toasted anyways, so you do eventually need to get your 90 degree or 45 degree ones to clear the headers. So, but that's just a cheap fix for right now. Alright guys, I almost forgot about this dipstick. Let's see if it's going to fit. I think it goes right here, right between the last one and the spark plug. Gotta line up the hole down there somewhere. There it goes. Went right in, huh? Oh, dang. Dang, guys, looks like it fits pretty dang good, actually. It clears the dipstick real well. So that's the original dipstick. And yeah. Heck yeah, guys. Looks like maybe I just gotta pass my cable on the other side here on this one. Here. And I think it's gonna clear, guys. Yeah, there she is, guys. Just put my bolt in, and our dipstick is good to go. Alright guys, so we're down underneath the truck. This is my old fuel system here. I got the old fuel filter, the old fuel pump. We got one power line here, which easily disconnects. But looks like on the frame we got 4 bolts. And we have to take each one of those out. We got 4 more down there. So just the ones that are here next to this strap. But yeah guys, so I mean, it doesn't look too difficult to take out. Other than that, it's a couple lines, you know. We gotta take the lines off obviously from the return and the feed. And then we got a couple filler neck hoses down here. So I'm hoping this is not too hard to take down. And once I get it down, I'll let you guys know what the plan is. Alright guys, so just some comparisons here. Here's our original, I guess, sending unit. Looks like the pipe ends right about here. If I go straight across, you can see this is where the bottom of the pump is going to fit. And I might have maybe another 1/4 inch for the actual sock, or maybe an inch or so for the sock of the pump. So it looks like they are about the same height. I mean, if anything, I might just have to bend this tube up just a hair to get it to work. But I mean, it looks like it's gonna work. And even the floats kind of if you look at them, they're in the same position in the down. This one has to go up just a hair more than this one. So I don't know if that's gonna affect anything, because I do see a pipe running across the side there. So if this thing hits on there, I mean, it's only gonna mark 3/4 or something like that. But as for the pipes as well, it looks like these two are going that way and these ones are going this way. So I might have to put this one in there backwards like this. So that's why I'm saying that float, it might hit on that pipe going up on that side. So I'll see if maybe I can bend it 180 this way, or see if I can figure something else out. Maybe I'll swap the little stick from that one into this one here and see if that works, or see if I can just swap the whole sending unit altogether. I don't think so, but I'm gonna try and plop it in there and see if it fits. And if it does, we're gonna go ahead and use this. Alright guys, so check it out. What I ended up doing was cutting these little tabs off here. They fold up and they have a little leg sticking up, kind of like that one there. I don't know if you guys can see it. But what that does is it actually lines up the fuel pump and it makes it sit right here and right here. And this one had the same two tabs and they would fit, but it was pointed the wrong way. It was actually had the pipes pointing kind of this way, which I did not want. I want the pipes to face this way here. So I just cut the little tab off, so you can see there it's flat now. And now I can put it in there and basically point it any direction I want. So now I don't think the sending unit's going to be an issue, because it has enough room to go all the way up. And it still centers itself because we can line it up there and then we twist it. And she's pretty damn good right there. So that's where the original lines were about at. So yeah guys, I mean, I think this fuel system is going to work like this. Alright guys, so check it out. This is kind of our end product here. So we got the fuel pump in there, and I put our fuel line on straight to that pressure side. And then our return is obviously just going to dump out of this little tube here. But we ended up putting a sock on there, and we got the original float that hopefully still works. And then we just spliced it in there. So it originally had 3 wires there, 1 power, 1 ground, and a sending unit. So I'm hoping that sending unit still works. I didn't get to test it, but that's what our fuel system looks like, guys. And then I'm just gonna drop it in our tank with the pipes pointing this way, so that way we can go up and over our frame rail. So let me drop it in there, put our nut back on there, and we'll put it back in the truck, guys. Okay guys, so we got that on there pretty good. Looks like this thing is a little bit smaller than the original one, so you kind of got to center it as you're tightening up the big ring here with your punch or hammer, whatever you're using. So I mean, that's the only difference, but it is in there tight. I mean, pretty sure it's sealed and everything. So next step is, guys, I'm actually just gonna cut these things off, 1 and 2. So this one here's our pressure. It's a little bit loose, as you can tell, and our return is actually fine, but it looks like maybe just the solder cracked right here, the one that holds it. Doesn't look like the pipe's broken or anything, and if it is, I'll tell right away because it's gonna be spewing everywhere. So what I'll end up doing is plugging this one off and this one here, because my tank has a vent, so I don't need either one of these. I just need the pressure and the return, and I'm gonna cut them flat like I said, and I'm just gonna slide the hose right over there, and I'm gonna put 2 fuel injection clamps on each one. So that's the way I'm gonna run it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I guess we'll just learn, you know, and then maybe I'll have to go to some and fittings or something like that, you know, maybe buy a whole different setup. But I'm gonna try it like this. I'm pretty sure it's gonna work, and we'll keep on going, guys. I'll let you know if there's any troubles with it. Alright guys, so off the fuel tank for a little bit, we're going to come over here to our fuel rail, and I got a pressure and a return. And what I went ahead and did was I just went and bought, I think it was 13 feet of this fuel injection line. I think there's your part number from O'Reilly's. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide it over that nipple right there and put some fuel injection clamps on it. I'm hoping it's going to hold. I mean, I think it should. These hose clamps are pretty dang good. Like, you gotta get the good ones though, not the little worm style clamps. You gotta get these ones here that are band styles. So these hold a lot more pressure than your normal worm clamps. So you gotta get this style clamp, and that's what I'm gonna run. So if I can get it to slide over that little lip that it has there, I'm gonna try and get the fuel line all the way over it, so that way I can put one in front and one behind it. If not, I'm just gonna run one on the end there. So I mean, you guys can learn from my mistakes. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you guys learn, you know? So we'll try it. We're gonna give it a go like that. And originally what I was gonna do was run the fuel line down on this frame rail and then over the cross member back there. But it looks like it might be easier just to run the fuel lines behind the engine and down this side over here. So it looks like I got one stud there. I might put a clamp or something from there and then just run them straight down this frame rail, because my fuel tank is on this side anyways. So I think that's going to be the way I'm going to route them. And let's get to it, guys. Check it out, guys. So there's our pressure line and our return line. I'll tell you, it is a pain in the butt to get it past that little bump that it has there, but I think it's worth it because it just gives you a little bit extra security rather than just having that one clamp on there. So it was possible. I'll let you know it was a pain again, but we did it. So now we're just gonna go ahead and connect our lines. I ended up running them behind the intake and down this side over here, right there, and next to the frame rail on the outside. So that's the way I'm gonna run them, and we just gotta figure out how to hook up our gas tank. All right, guys, so here's our final product. I ended up finding a little plug for that thing, so we're just gonna plug that one off, and this one here, put some zip ties on them because there's no pressure to them. We got the sending unit in there with our Chemzo 355 liter pump, and I ended up figuring out that from this sending unit here, we need our black one as ground, and our gray one is going to be the power to the pump, and purple will be for our sending unit. So I also went ahead and did the same thing on this one. So I got 2 fuel injection clamps on each one, and I mean, those things are not budging, don't move at all. So hopefully they hold and no leaks. Alright guys, so I just wanted to give you guys a look at this thing here. So our fuel lines end up coming out from there, and our power lines here. So what I ended up doing was just kind of looping it a little bit and zip tying it to the frame rail, so that it just takes up that extra slack, so that way it's not hanging down here and hitting on this exhaust. So I mean, it looks like our fuel tank's up in there. I still just got to hook up my filler neck and vent here, but right there. But once I'm done with that, I mean, our fuel system should pretty much be done, besides hooking up our power and our ground and our sending unit. So, but that's pretty simple. So we're gonna get our power from our relay, that relay box that we made. Ground, we're just gonna ground somewhere here on the side of the frame, kind of like this thing here. And then obviously we just got to get the sending unit from the truck itself. So 3 wires to wire up and hook up a couple things, and we should be done with our fuel system, guys. Alright guys, so I ended up grounding that wire down there on the frame rail, and then our power wire here comes up to our relay. I just kind of tied it together for right now. I just want to see if it's going to start under its home power, I guess. So, and see how these headers sound. Hopefully they sound pretty good. But yeah guys, let me get a jump box on this thing, and we're going to go ahead and try and fire it up under its own power. Alright guys, so I can hear the fuel pump kicking on and off. I'm gonna prime it, you know, 5-6 times, just to get a bunch of pressure in there, and then we're just gonna check for leaks real quick, you know, before we even fire this thing up, because if I got any leaks, you know, I don't want him starting up. So, all right, guys. All right, so looks like our hose clamps here are holding. I don't see no leaks of any sort. So let me go and check under the gas tank. And yeah, I don't see any leaks, guys. So I think we're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and try and fire it up and see what happens, guys. Alright guys, let's give it a shot. She's gonna fire up under her own power, fuel pump in the tank. Guys, we got fuel, so she's getting closer and closer, man, step by step. As you can see, it's obviously a budget swap. I mean, I'm into that fuel system. 60 bucks. It was just the 2 fuel lines and 4 hose clamps, or 8 hose clamps. So exhaust manifolds sound good. Looks like I might have to trim on the other side. I think it looks like it's really close to the transmission housing. So either way, I mean, even if I had to shave that little piece off or get, you know, a custom exhaust made from there down, you know, it's not a big deal. Exhaust is on there. But man, she sounds good, guys. So guys, remember, it's not too expensive to do this swap. Not too much money into it. Maybe I'll make you know, how much it costs to do this LS swap later, but for right now, I mean, I'm just gonna clean up all the wiring, put the water pump back on it, alternator, and then hook up my radiator and see how she drives, guys. So maybe next time I see you guys, she's probably gonna be on the road. So remember, stay up, hustle hard.